What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, no hate. So, I was watching Whyte, Jermaine Franklin, their press conference, and what I saw was basically typical of what I spoke about last time between the two. Now, Jermaine Franklin is calm, cool, relaxed. He's only focused on the fight. He's not trash talking. He's speaking confident that he'll win the fight, but he's not bashing Dillian Whyte and just saying a bunch of nonsense, talking about things that's not related to boxing. So when I did the video, me speaking about the things that Dillian Whyte was saying and the little act that he's putting on. Let's look at what happened. He basically he's fighting in his country, and he used the term, you're going to hear my people, trust me, bro, my people, blah blah blah. Okay, but then look at what happened when they were, during the press conference, the face-off. Now, in the face-off, like I said before, nobody was talking about being from the hood or talking about any gang banging or tough guy stuff, nothing. That only came out of Dillian Whyte's mouth. What Dillian was doing, he was using the typical black American stereotype. And, these Americans come over here, blah, 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 and all. So he's saying all this racist shit. He's trying to belittle Jermaine Franklin. And him even saying what he said, Jermaine Franklin is not crumbling under pressure. He's not worried about what Dillian's saying. He's not focused on what Dillian is saying. And so, pretty much, that wasn't respected, because it's like, you're trying to use these little tactics of talking about Americans this and Americans that and trying to get the Brits behind you. But at the end of the day, you're making a fool out of yourself. Now, Jermaine Franklin's team, they know that Jermaine is not the rowdy type. He's not into the whole, criticizing, tough talk, back and forth, arguing. So, during that face-off at the press conference, what happened was, when you saw, this cat is so spoiled, when you saw them facing off, the camera angle, you see Dillian Whyte, and then you see him. So what happened was, he pretty much shoved, Jermaine Franklin's promoter, because he's telling him, telling Dillian that, Jermaine's looking right back at you. So this, in Dillian's opinion, this warrants him to, what is it? What? Right? So this, in his opinion, warrants him to shove a promoter, a non-fighter. And then he, walks in slow motion. You know what? Trying to give people time. You showing your fingers for, trying to give people time. It's like, okay, I'm about to get off the stage. Hold me back. Hold me back so I don't make a fool out of myself. I want to look like I'm really trying to get at this guy, right? That's what you saw. Okay, I wasn't impressed by any of it, and the guy's making a buffoon out of himself. His pride is hurt. He's embarrassed. I'm in my home country, trying to act tough, trying to bully this guy, and it's not working. Okay, so even him mocking Jermaine Franklin's trainer and just just acting like a big ass kid, like a bozo, and I'm just looking at him and I'm like, yeah, he's using the wrong tactics to try to. I don't think this is so much about him just trying to promote a fight. I think Dillian is just an asshole, and he's just being himself. Because he does the same type of dumb shit all the time. He has the answer for everyone. He's one fighter that I've yet to hear him ask, someone ask him a question and he's just, man, I don't know. I'm not concerned with that. Everything, he has an answer for everybody. So he's trying to get under his skin, trying to look like the big dog, like he's a big deal. And you're here in my country. Yeah, I'm gonna bully you. I'm gonna talk tough. I can do that here. No, it's not working. And if you notice, he's getting into it not with Jermaine Franklin, but with Jermaine Franklin's team members, right? So I'm watching video. I'm watching the when they're checking the boxing gloves, they're picking the gloves, and reading the comments. It's funny how people are babying. Oh man, this guy keeps starting with Dylan. This guy, no. Here's what's happening. They see what Dylan's trying to do, what his team's trying to do, and they're like, nah, we're not gonna lay down. Even picking the gloves. Jermaine Franklin's trainer, who's an old man, he's looking at Dylan. Dylan said some shit to him. He's looking at Dylan. And then Dylan, yo, bro, don't try to act tough. And just, Dylan is a clown, man. And so it got to the point where Dylan had to actually go sit down. So this guy, Tim Whyte, is over here making a huge deal about the gloves now. And bottom line is, somebody has to win. So win, lose, or draw. Right? I don't care what if he knocked Jermaine Franklin out. This is a cherry pick of a fighter who has not made his mark yet. He's undefeated with unknowns. Okay? So even if Dylan wins, and he's supposed to win this is a fight he's expected to win, but however it goes, see, there's a such thing as doing something wrong. Just because, even for people saying, oh, he's just trying to build a fight up, there's certain things that you don't need to say and do. And he's showing no class. But for the fanboys that's trying to defend him, that's all good. Doesn't matter. If he wins this fight, so what? If he loses, then it's like, oh shit, how'd that happen? Because this was a guy you said did nothing. He's a nobody. But yet, you've been trying to fight him for the past 4 years. At the end of the day, the only person that's rattled and acting unprofessional is Dylan and his team. And the guy, Tim Whyte, is actually stood in front of a camera and said they're trying to get an unfair advantage. You can tell these gloves have been worn and used. Then you hear the guys from the commission talking. You can hear the guy asking clearly, when were these gloves sent out? Right? So, long story short, you hear the guy say, these gentlemen have not seen these gloves. This is the first time that they're seeing the gloves now. So when the gloves are sent out to be picked, okay, now they're picking them. Tim Whyte is opening up a pair of gloves, showing this is what gloves look like when they're wrapped correctly and all this and that. However, he's saying that the gloves were used. They were worn, the padding was separated. Now you hear Jermaine Franklin's promoters say, do you guys can wear the same gloves? Do you want to wear those gloves? You can wear the same gloves. You're complaining about you can wear. Now, here's the whole thing. The head games, the mind games. This is all a part of it as well. Okay? They try to make a fighter as uncomfortable as possible. Some of you may have seen, maybe you haven't seen. There's times when even you're rapping, getting your hands wrapped. The guy from the other team watch you, nah, I don't like the way they're rapping this. Nah, it's like they're trying to, now they don't wait till they're almost done. Now they gotta unwrap and rewrap. This is all on purpose. They try to get under the fighter's skin to make you as uncomfortable as they possibly can. But it's not working, and it's pissing Dylan Whyte off, and you can see it. And he's the only one losing his composure. Who the fuck are you to tell somebody what they can and can't? Like, are they talking shit? You're only talking shit, bro. But you talk more shit than anybody. Only person maybe talk more shit than you maybe is Tyson Fury. You talk so much shit. And even Tyson Fury kicked your ass. You're talking about everything you've done and who you've beaten, but you're not bringing up that Tyson Fury fight, right? So at the end of the day, again, you are a foreigner to this country. I'm going to try to bully you. I'm going to try to flex my muscle and make myself look bigger than what I am against you. You're a nobody here. Jermaine Franklin's like, yeah, whatever. See you fight night. So Dylan's getting into it with Jermaine Franklin's team members. What I say about all that is this. I'm not into this shit talking. It does nothing for me. I've been taught to punch you in the mouth right while you're talking. Excuse me. Remember how Riddick Bowe pieced up Larry Donald with them 2 weak ass punches? Well, it was wrong. It was wrong. And it was the same exact reason. Okay, not fully the same exact, but pretty much on the basis of Riddick Bowe got pissed off because he couldn't intimidate Larry Down. Now, he beat his ass in the ring, which is where it's supposed to happen. All this other outside of the ring bullshit is for what? You're not going to do shit. You're going to jeopardize the money. You're going to jeopardize the fight. You understand what I mean? And that's why I'm saying, real recognize real. Where I'm from, just like Riddick Bowe situation, the whole shit, that's what happens. If you're going to hook off on somebody, you're going to hook off, which is why I always say, all that getting in my face and talking, I know I'm going to punch you right in your face. It's not going to be no hold me back, I want to look like I want to fight. Put your arm out like this. That, yeah, and that's enough to hold me back. Yeah, no. My point, I saw Larry Holmes run across a fucking car, jump off of them big-ass cowboy boots and drop kick Trevor Burbick. He don't like Trevor Burbick. To this day, he has nothing good to say about Trevor Burbick. This is what I mean. This fake beef, like, you're not gonna do that type of shit to me. Get in my face and act tough and I'm gonna punch you right in your mouth, your eyes. Yeah, the fight will be fucked up because you gonna respect my space. Stay where the fuck you are, or I will bust your face open before the fight. Simple. And I know that when you coming from that space, it's different. Which is why Mike Tyson had fights where they had to have the police come out and had the line to keep them, simple. Simple. You're not going to have that happen with me, and then at the end of the fight, oh man, we're just trying to sell the fight, man. He's a hell of a fighter. You know that? No. If I was calling you names and types of shit and disrespecting you before the fight, that means it came from the heart. It wasn't to sell a fucking fight. You understand what I'm saying? So you do all of this tough shit, all this tough talk, but then at the end, y'all hug and embrace. They call that good sportsmanship. No, I call that phony theatric bullshit. Because if I don't like you and I had nothing good to say about you before the fight, what the fuck am I going to come out now? I'm going to praise you. No. If I'm saying you a nobody, I've been hunting you down for 4 fucking years. You guys been ducking me. And you ain't shit. You ain't beat nobody. Nobody knows you. I make myself look stupid because it's like, well, Aries, if you feel like that about this guy, why are you fighting him if he's a nobody? Then if he's a nobody, what do you gain from beating him other than just staying active? Because there's better fighters you could have picked, right? Oh, I'm just trying to sell a fight. After the fight, I'll hug him and tell him how great he is. Come on, that's bullshit. And I blame a lot of you. Those who embrace this bullshit and say, but it's entertainment to who? A bunch of fucking children? Grown-ass men arguing and carrying on and bullshitting like a bunch of fucking high school kids on a fucking school bus somewhere. Don't know how to act. And what was funny to me, what did he say when he's arguing with the little fat Jewish guy, Jermaine Franklin's promoter? Bitch ass niggas talking shit, bitch ass nigga. Ain't it funny how you talk shit about how Americans come over to your country acting this way and that way, but yet you're using that American street slang? And I don't give a fuck about Buddy McGirt being your trainer. Oh, but he can't be racist. He has an American fortune. Hey, listen, there's people who are in, I don't even like to use the term interracial relationships because, people are people. But yeah, they're in interracial relationships and will resort to name calling and saying shit like, my mother told me I shouldn't have married this kind of person, that kind of, or your kind of people, this. And yeah, you understand what I'm saying? But they can't be listen, taboo is weird. People have a crazy way of thinking. There's no way I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody and you going to get mad. You black nigga, my mama told me I shouldn't fuck with no black nigga. Then, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean. No. Nah, not going to happen. Because I'm not going to say no shit like that to nobody. I don't do the racial slur shit. I don't believe in that punk ass shit. So what I'm saying, if it's real beef, then it's real beef. It had to stem from somewhere though. Unless you just crazy, a stupid person that just somehow just don't like people for whatever. I gotta make myself hate this person in order to perform. So let me make up all kinds of dumb shit. I know. Let me pull the race card. And that's what he did. And don't think just because 2 people got black skin that they can't be racist to each other. That's bullshit. Plain and simple. But I just felt like that was bullshit what he was doing and his team. Pretty much Tim Whyte, whatever he called his fucking self, he's sitting up here trying to make a big deal about the gloves. And like Jermaine Franklin said at the end of that, same thing I said while I was watching it, before he even got to speak, he said, they try, this is boxing, this is all the bullshit that goes on. Talking shit, trying to pull every little trick, but it ain't gonna get under my skin. If you such a badass, then do it in the ring where it's supposed to happen. I agree 110%. Because the only one acting like an ignorant hood nigga is Dillian Whyte. And we know Dylan's not really built like that. So all that, Whyte could do this and that if he want to that guy. Yeah, it takes a lot of toughness to beat up a little fat, pudgy, short guy who can't box for shit. And you got mad because the guy said he's staring right back at you. They knew what you were trying to do, and they know that Jermaine is not going to feed into your bullshit. So what? So what? He said something to you. He didn't put his hands on you until you put your hands on him first. So as a man, I don't give a fuck what you are. You put your hands on me, I'm putting hands and feet on you. So it has nothing to do, like, because, like, what, Dillian Whyte can shove this guy and the guy's supposed to just laugh it off. Oh, I got shoved by Dylan. I'm never going to wash this peck again. No, fuck out of here, man. And Dylan was the one who initiated shoving this guy, and the guy shoved him back, so he's embarrassed. You talking all this shit, what you going to do, but you tried to intimidate an old man, and then mocking him and, oh, shut the fuck up, you fucking dumbass, acting like a big fucking kid up there. And then you try to, intimidate the promoter. It didn't work your way. You look stupid. And, like I said, whenever somebody, super slow, yo, motherfucker, this, and this, bitch ass niggas, and I'm like, wow, look who's acting like a street nigga right now. And I hate that stereotype, because that's, when I spoke about it, where I'm coming from, everybody who lives in that type of environment is not necessarily like that. Most of the people aren't, but for the people that are, that's all you see, that's all you hear about. So you got this impression that you got nobody goes to work, nobody has self-respect, nobody's a good parent to their kids. It's just, or just good people in general. They're all gangbangers and drug dealers. And that's what you label people as. But it's funny how they try to make it seem like this kind of shit only happens in America. But regardless, well, it was just some sucker shit for him to try to use that as any type of ammunition. And like I said, I don't think that's Dillian Whyte trying to sell a fight. I think that's just Dillian Whyte being Dillian Whyte. He's an asshole as far as I'm concerned. Now, that being said, I'm still not interested in this fight. No, definitely not. But should he win the fight like he's supposed to? Should he win? What's next for him? Who knows? We don't know what Anthony Joshua was doing at this moment. Dubois is out there. F.L. Jama's out there. We haven't heard a word from Wilder and from Andy Ruiz about anything happening with them or any promoter, right? Just Wilder keep talking about fantasy matches. Talking about who he wants to fight, claiming who he wants to fight. You're getting older by the minute, brother. And before you know it, those fights won't materialize. And when people say, I wanted those fights, but it just didn't work out that way, or it wasn't my fault, I was ready, I wanted to, that's everybody's claim afterwards. But if Jermaine Franklin was to win, I'm pretty sure, Eddie Hearn is saying if you should win, $1 million fights, bigger paydays, the sky's the limit. No, if he wins, Dillian Whyte will be screaming rematch. And I'm pretty sure there will be a rematch if Dillian Whyte loses. Which is okay. But the whole point is, it's not like if he beats Dillian Whyte, all of a sudden AJ's next, then Wilder, then Fury. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Believe they'll want a rematch. But at the end of the day, for any fighter to, say a fighter's nobody knows you, you're unknown, you haven't done anything, but then say, I've been wanting to fight you, it's like you make yourself look stupid. Dillian Whyte, I said, and I still say it has the second best resume in the heavyweight division. But at the same time, he got his ass knocked out 3 times. It's the fight game. Okay, it's what it is. It's the fight game. Shit happens. But if Dillian Whyte, see how the tables turn though? When he was fighting Fury, Frank Warren was saying he's done nothing. They shitted on Dillian Whyte's resume. And so did Tyson Fury. He doesn't even deserve this shot. He doesn't even deserve this money. He's done nothing. Who is he beating? This is Frank Warren, right? Now, ain't it funny how all of a sudden, and look, this was his last fight. He got knocked out in the 6th round. But ain't it funny how a guy who all it takes is for you to reach a certain purse. Now your next fight, if somebody beats you, boom, there's some big star when you wasn't even considered a big fucking star in your last fight. You was the fucking B-side. Yeah, in your country. Nobody believed that you could win that fucking fight. Very few people thought you could win. But I don't think nobody thought you were going to underperform the way that you did. So when he got his ass whooped the way he did, it was like, man, you talked all this big shit and talked about Fury ducking you and how you deserved the shot and Dean Whyte crying for you and all that. And look at what happened. You got beat the fuck up and starched and smacked around and then got dropped and KO'd. One punch in the 6th round. And this is what maximum damage is about? Maximum violence and all that. Yeah, whatever. All those little cute names don't mean shit. What it comes down to is what you do in the ring. And regardless, he's supposed to beat Jermaine Franklin. But regardless, I respect Jermaine Franklin for saying what he said and keeping his poise like he did, because Dillian Whyte is a fucking sucker, and he does like little punk ass tactics to try to get under people's skin. And you guys can go in my archives. I've always given Dillian his props for going in the ring to fight. Now, I've always pointed out things about him that people try to overlook to make it like he's a flawless fighter. No, there's things about him, but I give him his props for going there fighting the tough fights. Always, But like I said, when you do some sucker shit, I'ma speak on it if need be. And this is a situation where, yeah, let's not forget something, right? A lot of fighters have fans in different countries. Now, I'm nobody's fucking fan, but in different countries. So now when you make a comment to try to belittle people from that country, you stereotype people from that country, do you think that those motherfucking people want to still cheer for you? Of course not. Of course not. I'm never in favor of any fighter trying to make it us versus them. No, it's just two fucking fighters going in the ring. That's it. That's it. And that's the way it is. It's not just the way I see it. That's the way it is. I don't care about how many flags are being waved in the crowd. I don't care about the national anthem being played. It comes down to who is going to go and be that top dog, one-on-one in that ring. And that's what it comes down to. So when fighters feel like they need that mental edge, well, it just goes to show you. Talk is fucking cheap, because anybody can sit here and say, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you. Then you fall short. Well, I mean, hey man, I got in here. Right. Humble yourself and shut the fuck up. That's the whole point. All this fake beef, just like I said, Savannah Marshall and Clarissa. Remember the video I did, and I said, this fight, especially this fight, don't need no fake beef. They have a history from the past that was in the amateurs that people keep bringing up. This is the pros now. So now guess what? They gonna get in there and do it again. Stop making this fake beef up. Stop acting like it's something. It's clearly, when you see the media, you hear the things they're saying and the fighters feed into it, then it's like, see, you can't control me. Ariel's the kind of person I'm going to say what comes from the heart. I don't have to think about, let me say the right thing to make them happy. I don't care how you feel. I'm going to speak the truth. And this is where people need to grow up. And again, when Larry Holmes dropkicked Burbick, what was he saying? He was being interviewed. Don't come over here. Do not come over here, right? He didn't want to talk to this dude. He really disliked this guy for whatever the reasons was and shit, whatever. I heard a lot of people say a lot of things about Trevor Burbick, that he was a rotten human being. I don't know him about whatever, but bottom line is that was real beef. That was real beef. See, when Riddick Bowe hit Larry Donald, that wasn't about beef. That was trying to intimidate him, and his ego got scarred because it wasn't working. But you're not going to steal me and then at the end of the fight we gonna hug and embrace it. Nah, the same way how right now to this day, Riddick Bowe don't like Lennox Lewis. I don't know what Lennox Lewis did then. You know, I remember the fight. I forgot who Bowe beat, and he's a bum, and I'm nothing about it. Imitating Ali. Lewis was sitting there laughing and shit. And then when Bowe got out the ring and they were face to face, Bowe got serious. And then Lennox realized, okay, this motherfucker's not playing. He's serious. Okay. It didn't lead to nothing, and the fight never happened. And in fact, even a couple of years ago at that ceremony that they had, you know, Bowe walks up, he says something to Lennox. You just see Lennox like smile and laugh. But he still to this day don't like Lennox Lewis. Okay? Why, I don't know and I don't care. But the point of what I'm saying is the fake beef bullshit. Oh, yeah, this is exciting. Oh, this is entertaining. Yeah, whatever, man. I look at it this way. I don't know what the fuck is so entertaining about grown-ass men and women carrying on, pretending they got beef and hatred for someone. Like I said, sportsmanship my ass. If we got beef, we got beef. That just give me more reason to break your face and feel no remorse whatsoever. You understand? You're not going to hear me say anything like that about a person and then we hugging at the end of the fight. It was just entertainment. Nah, that's just me. Everybody don't have to feel like me. But me personally, I don't respect that fake. You know, at least we know in professional wrestling it's scripted, and even they don't like each other many times in real life. And you know, somebody might do something unprofessional and try to really hurt the guy or the woman that, you know, shit like that. So it's like, no. One thing about me, if you're from the streets, you know about the 3 feet rule. You're gonna respect my space. It's as simple as that. Maximum violence. Where was that shit when you fought Fury? It take you to, now he beat a guy that he's supposed to beat. Before you know it, Dylan Whyte's right back in the saddle unless he struggles to beat him. But what they'll do is try to find a way to try to give Jermaine Franklin more credit than what they're trying to give him right now. Because they're talking like this is an uphill battle. Like, how is he going to win this fight? He's not, they don't really feel like he's good enough to beat Whyte. Well, guess what? He's not supposed to beat Whyte in this fight. But if he does, or if Whyte even struggles to beat him, you know, what is he going to say? It was ring rust? What is his excuse going to be? You know, it wasn't, he's that good, I just had an off night. Or what is he going to say? Is he going to give him credit for being a good fighter? What? Doesn't make a difference. And that's where I'm saying, I know at the end of this fight, more than likely, Whyte and Franklin are going to shake hands and embrace. And that's what I'm saying. So stop all the fucking antics, all the theatrics, trying to make it seem like it's something more than what it was. What's funny, if you saw the beginning of the final press conference they had today, the same guy that he shoved walks up and sticks his hand out for Whyte to shake his hand. Dylan Whyte shook his hand. But now, when they're checking the gloves, Dylan Whyte gets into it with the old man, the actual trainer of Jermaine Franklin. So it's just like, yeah, okay. That's my point. That's my point. You talking about American antics and Americans coming over there talking all this shit with it, but you shook the hand of somebody that you shoved, they shoved you back. So this is what I'm saying. If it was any real hatred there, you understand what I'm saying? That real, no, you wouldn't have shook his fucking hand. You wouldn't have did it. The fight ain't even happened yet. It'd be like, man, fuck you and fuck you. At the end of the fucking fight, you see what I'm saying? Real beef, no. And that's why, you know, like just like many other people, we know we done lost people to these streets. We know what goes on out there. There's certain places you got to be careful where you go, because not that these guys are any tougher than you are, but guess what? That will end anybody. Anybody. And it comes to the type of shit where you have innocent people that's just in an environment that a bullet meant for him hit her. That little 2-year-old baby sitting in the car seat, in the back seat of that car, and these fucking violent motherfuckers jump out, pop, 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 and that bullet kills that baby. Do you think that they give a fuck? And do you think they care? So when you try to make a fun of a person's living situation, that shit is not even funny. Example, we sitting over here talking about God bless the Ukraine, help was going to Ukraine. Well, this doesn't have to be a war with bombs and you know, governments involved. Wars happen different ways as well. But it's a bad situation, right? You wouldn't make fun of that, would you? You understand what I'm saying? So even Fury with that, yo, this guy's a fine and just talking shit, trying to do what? Belittle him for what reason? What did you gain from that? Even when there's no fight on the table, you're still trying to disrespect this guy. And this is what I'm saying. But yet, here's another fucking big mouth. But you guys, oh, these Americans come over. Well, listen at what your own countryman is saying. Listen to the dumb shit that's coming from your own countrymen. This is the shit I'm talking about. So the only unprofessional motherfuckers is the ones talking that shit. Nobody. No, it would be like me making this video right here. And somebody just respond and say, how come you don't like Spanish people? I ain't said nothing about a Spanish person one time in this video other than making this example, right? It would be like, what? Just for somebody to read comments and go, oh shit, Aries don't like Spanish people. Oh shit, or what? Because somebody want to open up with bullshit to try to, and that's all he did. That's all he did. So he put the stereotype out there. So again, I don't care nothing about Buddy McGirt being his manager. I don't care about that, man. Big deal. We've heard about fighters who had trainers and managers that they couldn't stand each other. They didn't even like each other, but it's business. So if I can benefit from you, right? Then, oh, I don't like that motherfucker, but shit, I'm about to get paid. I'm about to get a bag because of him. Or we about to do this because of that person. That type of bullshit. You understand? You just seen the Abiabuchi story. And you see what his team had to say about him and his antics and how they saw him. So there's not always cohesiveness there. So you don't ever take somebody's living situation and try to make fun of it. To try to, you know, like what's the purpose? Again, taking that stereotype. Because I know you don't see me and you as equals. You think you're better than me. You think that there's a difference between us. Yeah, I said what I had to say in that video. But I'm just explaining because a lot of times when you talk, people hear you. They hear you, but you know, they don't really understand where you're coming from fully. Because they're not from where you're from. They don't see what you see. So even though they have different, you know, they're both black men, different ethnicities. You understand what I'm saying? We're not the same. I'm not what you are. You're not what I am. And I believe wholeheartedly that's how Dylan Whyte feel. I feel like that's just him being him. Like I said, it has nothing to do with him trying to sell a fight. It's him being an asshole. So, whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. But I'm not interested in this fight. I'm not going to watch the fight. I'll maybe catch a replay or something just to do a breakdown, if it's even necessary. Maybe. But otherwise, another dud fight. Even if it turned out to be a good fight, let's just say, if it does, right? It really won't matter to me. You understand what I'm saying? It really won't. It's not because, for me, it's not about you have to be a star in order for me to enjoy a fight. I've been speaking against that kind of shit for the longest. But if there's an upset in this fight, let's put it that way, then it will be, okay, he pulled it off. Let's talk about that. If Dylan wins this fight, and he pretty much said himself that the guy shit all over him, they always contradict themselves. 1 minute, he's a bum, he's a nobody, he's beating nobody. You know, I've been chasing you down, you've been avoiding fighting me. Then all of a sudden, well, he's a dangerous fighter, you know, he's undefeated. Which is it? You say one thing, your trainer says something completely different. You never heard Franklin or his team say Dylan wasn't a good fighter or he's not a threat. It's been Dylan doing all of this saying, and you know what's crazy? I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't understand what the fuck Dylan was talking about at that press conference. Every time Eddie asked this man a question, his answer, like he had the Deontay Wilder effect, bro. He asked this man the question, well, you know, it's not so much about that, it's just, for me, it's no problem, man. You know, and his answers had nothing to do with what the fuck Eddie was asking him. And I'm just trying to understand, like, what the fuck is Dylan talking about? He got to the point, one question he asked him, he couldn't even finish answering the question. Just, man, you know, he couldn't even answer it. Simple questions, but he sat at the face-off and told Jermaine Franklin, you don't sound too intelligent, man. You don't sound, and you do? This man cannot answer simple questions. And I'm just sitting there like, wow. The more you talk, the dumber you fucking sound, but you're trying to criticize somebody. Those words of you trying to act tough and saying certain shit, not getting under Jermaine Franklin's skin, is a plus for him. But your mindset, the fact that you would say something like that, like I don't like the term you people, or when someone is talking about you, they categorize you, they put you in a box with everybody else. You understand what I mean? Like you can have on a tracksuit and stand in the fucking corner, waiting for a bus. But let other people tell it that don't know you're a drug dealer. You could be fucking jogging down the street, taking a run. Let other people tell it you're fleeing the scene of a crime. So for every time you see something happen, you understand what I'm saying? Like in people's lives, and then you got people saying, yo, that person's lifestyle is negative and he's doing this and this. He got dreads and you got dreads. You better not be out there doing this. So, you better not be doing what he's doing. I don't know, that hairstyle. No, so wait, so dreads mean that's a criminal hairstyle. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody committed a crime, they have a tracksuit, oh, that's gang wear. And you categorize people. And I know the stereotypes that people put on black Americans. See, this is what I'm saying. And we ain't respect that bullshit. But Dylan acts like a little whiny bitch, running around upset, man. You stare at a fucking old ass man trying to intimidate him. You say your little slick shit, and then basically he's staring at you, and you, oh, don't try to act tough, bro. Yeah, real tough, Dylan. Real tough. Ready to fight a motherfucker or pretending to be ready to fight somebody old enough to be your fucking father. Real tough. Well, just saying, overall, this is a part of boxing that it's sad that people think that that is entertainment, that this is what boxing needs. People just talking all types of stupid shit for no reason. I didn't find it entertaining. It's, and it's really just one of these things. If anything, I was just more proud of the fact that Jermaine Franklin didn't stoop to his level. You understand what I'm saying? Because he could have. He could have. But he didn't respond back. Fuck you, you British motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I mean. That's how I roll. It's not if you're an asshole, it's not because you're British. It's not because you black American. It's not because you Jamaican. It's not because you Filipino. No, it's because you're an asshole. That's what I'm saying. He didn't shoot that shit back. He said what he said. He's keeping it about the fight. This dude, I wanted to tell you, bro. Trust me, I tell you step outside. And then what, Dylan? Then what? Then what? You gonna walk real slow like you did off that stage to give people time to step in front of you to make it look like you was gonna do something, but they held you back. And you did all that in regards to a little short fat guy that's not even a boxer, a fucking promoter. But the fact is you put your hands on him first and he shoved you back. And your pride went, oh shit, I just embarrassed myself in front of my country. That's what happened. That's what you saw. And he can't deal with it. And for somebody, you're talking shit, bro. Yeah, like you're the only official shit talker in boxing. Nobody should have that title but you. Right? You can talk all the shit you want, but they can't do it back to you. And for anybody who's pussy enough to sit up here and say, oh, man, Dylan could smash that guy. Yeah, well, why don't he smash Jermaine Franklin? Save it for the ring. Okay? Because he also certainly didn't smash Tyson Fury at all. Bottom line, you want respect, you give respect. This is about boxing. One of the greatest things I remember at a press conference with Evander Holyfield addressing Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson literally made up lies, saying that Holyfield was talking shit about him, was talking down on him. Holyfield sat right there and said, look, he's saying that I said whatever. I didn't say. Bottom line is we got to fight anyway. So let's take it to the ring. And then we see who the best fighter is. That's what it's about. You need that mental edge to try to psych yourself up. It's like an actor, right? Saying, when I'm doing a scene where I'm mad at somebody, I try to really make myself angry at that person so the scene comes off feeling real. You understand what I'm saying? But someone who just adjusts, they can make that shit look real because they just have that knack. But you have to make yourself angry in order for the lines to come out the way that you really would say it if you was mad. type of situation, you know? That's acting. This is boxing. And so, yeah, boxing can do without that bullshit. But, you know, even for people who like that type of shit, I don't like the racial shit. You know, certain things you shouldn't say. Certain things you don't need to say. And then certain things you say can cause you to really further embarrass yourself. Now, personally, I don't know either one of these people personally, okay? But, you know, if Jermaine Franklin does win, and he winds up having a rematch with Whyte, he beat him once, he can beat him twice. If he gets beat, then it's pretty much back to fighting the type of fighters he's been fighting. And Dillian Whyte pretty much will be one fight away from what happened to him in his last fight with Fury. What does it leave for him? Who knows? But I don't fuck with Dylan like that, man. You know, I'm gonna continue to do boxing news and do what I do. But yeah, that was some cowardly shit he did. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.